I'm Mike Susong. I'm the Senior Vice President for Global Intelligence at Crisis 24.
Jordan Lipple, Vice President of Sales, Ecam Secure.
Lemuel Blanco, President and Chief Technology Officer, Ecam Secure.
Ali Happel, Senior Vice President of Sales, GardaWorld Security Services US.
Landon Orr, Business Development Manager, Commercial Systems, GardaWorld Canada.
No, this is an exciting time from an intelligence point of view. That again, the AI gives us an additional layer. It gives us additional ability so that we can monitor unblinkingly 24/7 across languages, across cultures, across time zones. But then it all homes back to that human expert. So it just greatly enriches what we can provide for our clients. I would say hands down, both in numbers, the depth of their expertise, and the fact that they come from our client base, law enforcement, the military, retail, NGOs, academia. So the same people we serve know those industries and those operating areas instinctively. So I think that above and beyond gives us an advantage.
So we have quite a powerhouse of a panel here today. We have been doing AI for quite some time. Mr. Susong, how long has AI been part of the picture for Crisis 24?
For Crisis 24, we've had the technology within the team for over 5 years. And as you said, it's the phrase on everyone's lips today, but we've been integrating it into our process for several years.
And at Ecam Secure, how long has it been applied?
It's been applied for the last 15 to 20 years as part of our solution.
Jordan, what do you feel are the biggest concerns for our clients today?
Well, one, reducing risk, right, across the board. But I think cost comes with that as well. And through our artificial intelligence solution, we partner with the Garda side of the business on the guard side to augment certain behaviors so security guards can be alert for high-level risks. So we do all the heavy lifting sort of in the background to be able to analyze true threats and be prepared for the customer.
Ali, where do you feel AI technology is uniquely helpful with regards to man guarding?
Absolutely. So the AI technology, it really, in a sense, maximizes the talents of our highly skilled officers that are out there in the field, right? So it's this combination of like the best of humanity and the best of technology, augmenting and supplementing on each other. And so, for example, it's the ability for us to reduce, false alarms or false errors and things of that nature through the, the ability for that intelligent data processing and our ability then to, bring those empowerment and enhancements to what our security officers are doing out in the field, right? It makes them smarter, like Landon mentioned. It makes them more knowledgeable. Their visibility is greater. And so their ability to proactively respond and also to really help our clients deliver that, best in class service, that power of the combination is really key. And the other thing that often is sort of a byproduct of this as well is sometimes having that technology out in the field, it actually gives our security officers a better posture and a better work environment, right? So maybe it's a client site over multiple acreages or areas or dark areas or unsafe potential areas from a job safety standpoint. It allows us to really create a security posture that balances both of those, and from a employee experience piece allows us to really give them almost a better work environment sometimes through that combination as well.
And Lem, when you developed the AI for Ecam's MSUs, what were some of the key considerations that you took into account?
So some of the key things that we looked at, we studied what a typical security officer would, some of the behaviors. What are the things that suspicious behavior that they look for? And how do we then take that and convert that into machine language to where our camera is able to translate those behavior in turn becomes an alert to allow and alert the guard to be a lot more effective and be able to do the things that counts the most, right? Like apprehending the bad guys.
And what are some of the advantages, Jordan, you would say from a cost perspective of using AI?
Well, we use our smart access platform that combines a smart ID, virtual gate guard, and other access into one platform that helps give security officers tools to be more effective. So we do solve the common security challenges of trespassing, graffiti, loitering, theft, assault. Again, so the security officer can be prepped for high-level threats. So when we're giving them that information or doing that heavy lifting, it allows for a better service product overall.
In addition, if I could add something to that, something that we're arming our customers with too is business analytics. So with AI, we're giving them heat mapping, people counting, queue times, waiting. And so we can actually make our customers more money, helping them with their marketing needs by just through the use of AI on their on-edge cameras. So they can know where the best place to put their product is or where their customers are spending most of their time. And so it's just through AI, we're giving our customers something beyond security. We're giving them business analytics through AI that help them make more money and really just benefits them in the end.
Yeah, we see that in the automobile industry, right? Where security is a byproduct of our AI. It's really a marketing function to be able to show an end user that if they could see how many people might come to their lot after hours, the system could identify trends and then pay for itself. But the force multiplier is it's a security device, right? So it's a two-pronged.
We've talked a lot about the role of AI and how it's helping, obviously, the man guarding business and things like that. But it has an incredible role as well within the intelligence community. Mike, can you tell us a little bit about how we use AI at Crisis 24?
Yeah, certainly. Artificial intelligence is a good partner to the human-driven intelligence that we've always had the reputation for doing. And just to give you a matter of scale, it's the volume of information that our analyst and our team has to deal with. There's 350,000 tweets per minute. There's 69 million WhatsApp messages a minute. There's 180 hours of video a minute. And so to give us the capability to know when a disgruntled employee is posting on WhatsApp about a company they used to work for, or if we're looking at a video and someone's making a declaration against a school or some other location, it's critical that we can do so without blinking. And only the AI capability that we've built inside our intelligence process gives us that real-time coverage.
So when we're talking about intelligence, we're talking about the capability to act faster, right?
Absolutely.
The capability to analyze large sums of data. When we're talking about using technology from a man guarding perspective, it's also about acting faster. What about reducing false alarms? How does that come into play?
Well, that is one of the key factors of AI, is to be able to identify the behavior. In the past, we received notification that there's somebody on-prem. Now, with AI, allows us to, it's okay to have a person on that location, but now AI allows us to identify the bad behavior. If a person is breaking into a car, AI has the ability to now notify or command our central station to be able to act on that. So AI reduces 95% of nuisance alarm, therefore allows our operator, allows us to scale to be able to protect a location with a lot more eyes on site. The fact that we're not having to deal with a lot of nuisance alarm.
It's really interesting. Going back a little bit more to what we're doing as a company at GardaWorld, what are some of the innovations in AI that we've brought to the market?
Yeah, it kind of tags on their last point I made. That we have over 200 intelligence analysts globally. They speak the languages, they're from those cultures. They know the nuance of the areas that they're responsible for and can identify the threats very quickly. But as I said, the AI capability gives us an unblinking view into that area. So it will queue up, if you will, potential anomalies or events that may very well be of risk. And as with AI, one of the strengths of it is we then train the algorithm. So each time it misses a point, as with eCam Secure, you can make it smarter by that human interaction. AI alone isn't an effective tool. It's that combination from our point of view that makes it powerful.
Can you talk to us a little bit about Topo One and the technology that it uses?
Yeah, Topo One has the capability to embed our intelligence that's AI driven within its platform. So if you have a client who has both cameras, access control, and they have geo-fenced their facilities or their employees or their supply chain, that gives them, again, the near real-time capability to monitor and then to discriminate an event that's really should be drawing their attention so that they spend their finite resources on the things that will make a difference or have an impact on their company.
That's really interesting. It's showcasing the the relationship that exists there between the analysts and the technology that's available. We've launched Horizon, obviously, at GSX this week. Are we embedding any AI technology in that launch? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the AI technology that's in Horizon is the one that we've developed over the last 5 years. And I do want to make a point that one of the keys to effective artificial intelligence is the training set. And then, not to be too technical, it's what information do you tell the algorithm what to watch for. We have 20 years, we have arguably the most detailed set of human curated threat intelligence in the marketplace, and that's our training set. So whether it's a category, whether it's an event, whether it's a time of year, whether it's a country, we've already are teaching that algorithm to look for those specific things. And again, there's a very close feedback loop. If the algorithm is a little off, either timing or category, we can very quickly make an adjustment, and then that training goes back into the algorithm. So it constantly learns, if you will.
And does ECAM have a very strong training stack? What does that look like in terms of our technology there?
We continue to capture our metadata that allows us to better train. I'm going to use an example. Currently, right now, one of the projects that we're working on is that we're looking at cargo seal detection that goes into air freight, and that those has to be sealed before it gets into the plane. And that as we capture more metadata, more asset, our AI engine is just going to get smarter and smarter. We're at the point where we're seeing 85% today. In the next few months, we're going to be seeing 90% because of the amount of data that the computer is learning, that every time they see that, they just get smarter and be able to adapt a lot quicker.
I'm going to ask a noob question here. Who does that training of the AI? Is it human beings or is it the machine learning?
Yeah, I can answer that from a technology standpoint. The beautiful thing about the AI is it not only makes us at GardaWorld smarter, our staff, but also our end users smarter. So using almost like a chat GPT style language, an end user can say to the VMS system, like verbally, show me all the red F-150s that pulled into our lot yesterday. And it will seamlessly add all of that footage together. And they can know exactly, maybe there was a specific vehicle that was there that they want to know about. They can see it all there very easily. So it arms our customers, and without much training. We just give them the platform, and it gives them arms them to be able to be smarter, but then it makes our job easier from a service standpoint. But then our guard staff on site knows how to use the system as well, easier, and it just makes everything kind of more streamlined. Gives our end users really just a better experience.
Well, it really cuts down that noise, right? So when we think of also, right, maybe the security officer staff or GSOC staff or something of that nature who are really, again, trying to monitor all of these different systems, all these different visibilities, right? Being able to clear that noise and to see the most pressing issue, or to be able to see trends, right? So from what we're looking at today versus what we're looking at in 3 months from now versus 6 months from now, the ability to change that posture, right, between both the technology side and the information that we can bring back from it from an ROI and business intelligence standpoint, and then also our ability to maneuver and change security posture by seeing those needs and trends also helps. And so the combination for us under one roof of the technology and the people allows us to effectively and efficiently make those changes very quickly and smoothly, right? That flexibility to scale up or scale back, right? To add resources in one area or the other, that sort of thing. It allows us to have this agility.
That's wonderful. That is a great kind of advantage to AI in general, but then that can apply to anybody. So what makes GardaWorld different then? How do we use AI differently?
Well, I think from a standpoint of AI, we now offer many different services. Obviously, there's a bunch of people on the panel from different business lines, and we can offer our client, all these services in one and use them to benefit whatever they need. So we can do cameras, access control, intrusion, obviously guards on site. We can put MSUs and cameras in their parking lots. We can protect them as they're traveling. We can give them detailed reports if they're traveling to a dangerous place. And so we provide a full service, a full spectrum of service, and we're poised really to be on the front edge of this this market and really just be the the frontier and helping our clients feel safer, but feel smarter as well. And it's kind of like arming them to be smarter. It's not so much us guiding them. It's more just giving them the tools to, protect themselves, their assets, and their businesses, and feel like AI is being that push along the way to help them.
Lem, how do you feel that we use it differently?
I think one of the strengths of GardaWorld is that we have the knowledge, the experience, years and years of experience, and we're taking that experience and using AI to take that experience and identify the different use cases, where we could use AI for, and applying that today and trying to find a way to be more efficient and utilize that to our existing, how our camera detects and whether augmenting our secure officer with the use of AI to make their job a lot more efficient and a lot more simpler, to take the routine tasks that we do today and we find a way to automate that and continue to find a better way. And at the same time, we have a great AI team within GardaWorld that we're building that engine, and if we don't have that engine, we build a platform that would allow us to ingest technology from other manufacturers, other vendors that might have the resources that we might not have. So we might not be the expert on AI, but we have the ability to put together what's out in the industry to become a solution for GardaWorld as a whole, right?
I think the other thing about that too, right, is it goes back to that agility. So when we think about it from a business solution standpoint, right? So when you put all the different GardaWorld family of brands together, we're driving a business solution for that client, right? And the potential threat or disruption to their business that's going to possibly be there today is not necessarily the same threat or situational awareness that may be there in 2 weeks or even in 6 months, right? All these different varying vertical markets and industries and sectors that we see. So not only can we utilize the technology to help them improve that over the course of time, but we also can share best practices that we're seeing among our family of business units, right? And so, Michael can share different information with the ECAM team and security systems and things of that nature of threats and things that we're seeing. So not only does the things that we're seeing for our clients from an AI perspective make us really have better visibility into the things that matter to them and finding that ROI and that business safety and security, but it also allows us internally to share things that we're noticing, right? And to share innovation across all of our, family of brands and then bring that back to our clients.
And what's important about that, just to parlay, is a lot of the artificial intelligence on the ECAM side, a lot of the solutions have come from client feedback. So we're able, as we use the word flexible and agile, to be able to come up with loitering analytics, come up with license plate recognition, come up with video indexing, come up with drone detection, come up with these things because since we develop it, clients give us the feedback and say, I wish it did this. And then Lem goes and builds this. And so it's a great offering, and then we share that amongst the...
It's almost like that concept of it's no longer square peg
Right.
Right.
It's no longer does this technology fit your need. It's more of how do we create a technology that fits your needs.
And then I'd like to add to what Jordan is saying. Some of our success, a lot of our product is customer driven.
Going back to you, Mike, do you think that approach applies as well, obviously, to Crisis 24? Have you guys developed your products based on client needs? How has that gone about?
It absolutely is. I mean, both historically and every day, the voice of the customer is what drives us, what we focus on. And what we're finding with our AI application, with our human team, is we're becoming more anticipatory. Clients depend on us when it's a breaking event. Say it's an earthquake. They need to know the magnitude. They need to know the proximity. They need to know how it affects their business and their personnel. But what we're discovering with the AI algorithm and this training loop is we can be more anticipatory. It helps a client more if we can tell them what's going to happen in 5 days or a week out with some clarity. So that looking forward helps them put risk mitigation steps in place that otherwise you're trying to react. You're able to act proactively instead of reactively.
What a great segue, because we talk a lot about the predictive abilities of AI. Can we expand a little bit on that? You talked about it with regards to earthquakes or major events in that sense. How can businesses also use the predictive abilities of AI, for example, in access control, Jordan?
Well, it varies again by client need, but we use a smart access platform that can be customized for gate entry, for pedestrian entry, for visitor management and access control. So similar to what Mike said and Ali said as well, is we take a proactive crime prevention approach to security, right? Our AI wants to detect those risks prior from either happening at all or continuing. So if we could look at that on a perimeter perspective, because most of the things, unless it's an insider threat, cyber becomes at the perimeter. So if we could have that access control protocol and share best practices amongst the BUs, it also arms the security officer, safe environment, gives the client a better peace of mind, and ultimately reduces the risk.
That's a great answer. And I'm going to ask a very stupid question, because I am the voice of the person that is not an expert here. What is the biggest difference between us and a cybersecurity company? Because if I'm on Google and I'm looking up, AI security, the first 500 listings are for cybersecurity companies. Where do we differ in that aspect? I'd love to hear from you, Mike, on that as well.
Yeah, if you look at it strictly from a cyber intelligence point of view, they're looking at attribution, they're looking at the mal code, they're looking more at what's going to affect inside their network. The idea being whether it's an election in sub-Saharan Africa or an event that may have impact on a business operating in a certain area. So we're looking for groups or individuals that may either telegraph a threat or be part of a larger organization, has a history of violence or inciting others.
Talked about the human intelligence aspect there, and that is the really, I think an important point here to bring up, is that there is a limitation to the advantages that AI have that they bring. Why is it that the analyst still has such a crucial role right now?
From our point of view, from the intelligence point of view, it's still the nuance. If you look at the news with ChatGPT and some of the other examples that are given, if you need a toast for a wedding, ChatGPT will probably serve you very well. But if you need to make a decision about what is going to happen with a protest group or a change of government in a certain area, you need to know historically what has happened, and you need to know the different players. And ChatGPT just doesn't have that capability. The models that they have out there really just draw off common information, and it's unvetted information. That's another point that's really key to make is, and if I get on the soapbox for just a moment, sometimes with what you're seeing as the examples of AI, it sounds logical, but it's completely unreasonable to a knowledgeable consumer. And so our clients trust us to be that voice of reason and to be that voice of integrity. And so it has to come through the human intelligence analyst, what the algorithm may serve up to us, and then we add that final letter or level or that final vetting.
And how does that work from a guarding perspective as well? We touched on it a little bit earlier as well. You talked about AI making our guards smarter. Where does their role come in, Ali?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there's something so valuable to what Mike was saying about the human element of it, right? Like the human capability, and having the combination of the ability to understand situational awareness, understand the threat conditions, and then respond to that appropriately, right? And analyze it and do all those things, but also do it from a human standpoint of, understanding the emotion side of it. So tact and judgment and things of that nature. And so there is this unique piece to also having that human response or human capability that sort of is that sort of second review, right? Or sort of second action, or the person that's deployed out to potentially where there is a true alarm, right, issue or things of that nature, and having that individual that can respond in those ways and in the moment is really important on the guarding side as well. Yeah, there's like a peace of mind thing there too, right? So an alarm can go off and, an MSU can be alerted and they can respond and dispatch it to 911 and things of that nature. But that human element on site and that combination of man and machine, right, allows us to also have somebody right there who can respond. And I always think of too, what if it's a potentially, an alarm for an accident or a safety issue, and we have a human element that can respond in the form of, medical care or CPR or something of that nature. If you only have the technology side, you still also don't have that human side. And so there's that, I think, meshing of the two together that's really important to those.
And I'd like to add to that too, that AI is your first layer of detection. It's automating that detection of the would-be bad guys, but you still need the human touch to respond, to investigate, to verify that event.
And how do you guys do that at ECAM if it's not a hybrid cause?
Well, it's the same, right? Where AI detects the intrusion, it sends an alert to our GSOC, and our GSOC will now analyze the event. And using human to analyze why it's a threat, and does it require a phone call?
And for some of the people that might be watching this webinar, like myself, who aren't necessarily security experts, what is a GSOC? Jordan, can you tell us?
Picture a big room full of trained agents, not looking at CCTV, but getting alerts and then analyzing that.
And that obviously plays into the point of not looking at CCTV. We really are revolutioning the role of the guard in that sense. And like, I know, Ali, you have some points with regards to that. How are we making the guarding job different or better through AI?
I think there's a couple different things. I think we're arming them with more real-time data, right? So we're educating and giving better situational awareness to our guards on site, right? We're giving them more visibility, right? So not only they may be managing or monitoring 20, 50, 100, 150 cameras on site, but if we're utilizing AI to pick up on the key pieces that they need to zone in on, we've given them greater visibility into what needs to be addressed. Their ability to understand client sites, understand client needs, things of that nature, they can take all of that data that typically they would normally have to kind of sort through, and AI really creates that first layer for them, and then they can help, with that benefit to their client. Michael, I think of Kristen's team, and I think of how honed in her analysts are on knowing also the needs of her clients, right? And their ability that's not only, that embedded intelligence analyst during COVID may have been focused on contact tracing and other things of that nature. And now, because we can always create a new posture and are always trying to, find that ROI from a business solution, right, out there in that complex world, those dedicated intelligence analysts, they're taking and utilizing that AI technology, but they know what their business needs. They know what their client needs. And so they're also making it relevant to the client needs. So not just taking the threat intelligence or the stuff that we're populating through the AI systems or on Horizon or on a Topo One platform, but they're taking that and then they're making it applicable to what the client needs, right? So they're thinking like our clients as opposed to just thinking like security threat intelligence.
Do you agree with that? Would you add anything to that?
No, I think that's a very good explanation that the AI gives our analysts that are focused on the client to think just like the client. And so they apply the next layer, if you will, even of the intelligence to as how it would impact the clients. I agree completely.
And I think you see all of us sitting here, right? And we're representing so many of the GardaWorld brands. And I think what makes us uniquely different and purposefully different in that regard is our ability to collaborate so well internally, right? And so our ability to leverage each other's greatness and our abilities to bring those unique features to our clients allows us to really, in a sense, sort of outpace that, right? We're trying to always be that next proactive step. And so whether it's ECAM leveraging, intelligence analytics from Crisis 24 or security systems and guarding combined, or all of us on site for one client from a holistic approach, we have this great working ability under the GardaWorld brand that I think really takes us a step above the rest.